Hey guys, welcome back to Illusion Connect. In today's video, we're over on the AS server, which gets the updates a little bit sooner. So we're going to be checking out the new banners, and the two new select banners actually look quite nice with the additional units that they do bring. Also want to check out the new Battle Pass partner as well as that. Got some new packs, stuff like that. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so first up, the banners. Let's check it. So these are the two new ones that we do get, and then also we do have this one here, which doesn't interest me at all. But these two, okay. First of all, Astaroth. So she is an interesting unit to me. I feel like she could have very good manual play with the right units, but not a very splashable character in my mind. We'll go through her in a bit in a sec, but the first thing I want to note is that she does have Hotaru on this. Now, Hotaru isn't amazing, but a lot of people might not have her maxed. A lot of people are going to have Karaya and Frantiva maxed, and a lot of the characters that have been in frequent banners will be up there, but Hotaru hasn't really seen much use in banners. So she is in this one. So in this one, for me personally, I'll go 2 pulls into it, get my guaranteed. What I get is what I get, and move on from there. Hoping for an Astaroth. I don't think, unless you're a Mega Whale, I wouldn't probably go too deep on this one. This one to me looks like the one to go for. We'll talk about skills of both of these in a sec, but I just wanted to go into here and see that Angela is actually in this one as well. Hersey also, if you didn't do your 99 times summons on Hersey, you might not have her awakened yet if you've been playing for a long time. So even the Hersey, not bad not what you want, but not bad value if you do get it. Gagaku, don't really want at all, but Seeger and Angela in this one, not too bad. Seeger looks like a beast. So we'll go through these two, and then we'll go through the new Battle Pass unit, because I really want to talk about them. But before we do that, there is these new packs as well. I mean, this first one for low spenders seems like really, really good value. These things, you convert any owned character shard. So it sounds like any character shards that you have, you can convert them into another shard and use them for that. So if you want to pick those up, and you're a whale, go nuts. But basically, this one here is the one I'm looking at. I'll probably pick up just because it seems like good value. $11 Australian, that's like $7.50 US, I think. Around there, and you get 6 of those, 800 diamonds, 10 of those, and some stamina. Not too bad at all. But then let's jump over and take a look at some skills. So we'll look at it through this page here. Let's go to the info here. So this passive, now this is a little bit confusing, but I'm pretty sure I understand it. I think it's pretty decent. Seeger shows the most desperate dreams in everyone's mind. When Seeger joins the battle, she deals 360% of the target's max HP as true damage to all partners on both sides, excluding leaders, ignoring damage resistance, defense, and block for each 1 cost of the target. So each energy cost, so you know how she's a 20 cost. Damage taken is reduced by 20% of the target's max HP. Seeger slays all the summoned as well. So you drop her, even your team's at threat. Now the way this works is, as I understand this, and I haven't seen lens ups yet, but on the basic of this, it deals 360%. As true damage. It's like they're dead. So if you have a unit that costs 10 energy to deploy, it's going to reduce 20% times 10, which is reduced 200%, which means they're still taking 160% of their max health, which means they're dead. If you've got something that's, say, 12 cost, it's going to reduce by 240%, which is still going to leave you with 120. Correct my math, which means they're dead. But then it starts slowing down once you get to 14, 15, 16, 17, and then once you get a unit that's 18 cost to deploy, it's going to reduce it by 18 times 20, which is the 360. So 18 and above don't take any damage. So basically, the lower the deployment cost of the enemies, the bigger the damage they take, which is fundamentally large damage. So it's a lot if they're low, it's nothing if they're high. So it's a really it's a really fun mechanic that I actually really do like. And that's just when she's deployed. Keep in mind, if you got something that's like 15 energy, which means 20 times 15 is 300, meaning they lose 60%. She's then got her ultimate, which she's going to cast when she's deployed as well. So keep in mind with her, it's kind of the case of I'd keep her in, like, I feel like she's going to be a manual play, energy pooling, wait for your units to die and their field to be swarmed, drop her, delete things, and then go on to victory. It's going to be interesting to see how she plays. But I think this is just too good of an ability to pass up on summoning for her. I think it's going to be amazing. But you've got that. So basically, yeah, 18 and above energy, they're immune to damage from the passive. And then below that, they take differing levels of damage. At 14, is it 14? 28? No, at 14, they left with 20%. 13, they are dead. So, you know, 13 and below, instant kill. Moving on from that, it's just a cool ability and I can't stop talking about it. Seeger makes the Desperate Flowers bloom, dealing attack times 220% damage to all enemies. If it kills an enemy partner, the Desperate Flowers will bloom again and attack all enemies, but the damage is reduced by 50%. This skill can be cast up to 2 additional times. Now, the additional time, because obviously the first one is going to be 220% damage. The second one's going to be 110% damage. I'm not sure if the third one would be 110 or 55% damage. That's the one thing I'm not sure on, but still really, really strong considering you're going to deploy her with this. So, you know, anything that's around that 15, 16 is the energy cost is very susceptible to being killed by this, even if they did survive. So it's only the really, really expensive units that are going to have no issues with this. Moving on from that, we do have a column attack on this one as well, which is really nice. So I'm definitely, like, I'm going to do 2. So on my new account, which is the one I'm going to be like going for her on, is I'm going to do 2 on her banner. If I get her, I'll do 2 on the Astaroth. If I don't get her, then I'm going to try and go to 7 on her, because I just think she's ridiculous and I really want to have a copy of her. Keeping in mind, Astaroth does have that awakening for the Mega Whales out there. But let's check out Astaroth now. Not as exciting to me, but still pretty cool. So basically, when Astaroth dies, she restores 200 rage to the leader and Varanus, restoring an additional 10% HP to the leader. And then the lineup skill activation requirement, Varanus has to be deployed in the same lineup. And when Astaroth is present, ally leader starts with death resistance effect. So this one, it's not too bad. I feel like she will be decent. I feel like there could be things you can do with Varanus to make this work. I like the fact that she's only a 12 cost. A 12 cost SSR is pretty cheap, so not too bad in that. I'll talk a bit about it once we look at the rest of her skills. Astaroth awakens the power of demons set to set the battlefield aflame, attacks the enemy team and deals attack times 210% damage, 8% of which heals the leader. Not too bad with the healer sustain and stuff like that. And then we do have this one, which is column damage as well. So nice that we're getting some column damage dealing in on these specials. But basically I feel like this ability of stacking Varanus, and Varanus can stack his own stats, I feel like you could manage to get him pretty tanky if you like pull some energy, go Varanus mid in the middle in front of the leader, and then you put her in front so that she's sort of going to die, but then it restores his energy, which means he can stack up again. I feel like there is some stuff where you can use this chick, but she's not just like one of those splashable amazing units. And when you're competing in a banner against Seeger, I just think Seeger is more important to get. Personally, could be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. Moving on from those two, we do have the new Battle Pass unit, which is Luna. Now, Luna, I definitely think you can get this one free to play in the Battle Pass. Now, on my new account, your account has to be active for 22 days. So I will actually get this with like a day to spare, which means I will unlock it for the $15 Australian. I still think these are such, if you are a light spender, the $14 one ain't too bad to get all those bonus rewards. But obviously I'm going to spend that. I'm not going to get much of the bonus. All I'm going to get is that copy of him at level 10. Because that's pretty much where I'm pigeonholed into with that account on the 22nd day. But this guy. Now, the thing to note is his multipliers aren't like that much more crazy than something like Hotaru, who, you know, has stuns as well. But I think the base 12 cost that reduces down to 1 is huge. So let's take a look at his skills. The special, this is the other thing. A special that deals damage to all enemies is actually really, really nice. And the in-game sprite, mind you, puts the helmet on and looks absolutely savage. That's another reason I want to get this dude. Moving on from that, Luna gathers a tremendous amount of energy and releases a shockwave to attack all enemies. I hate words. Dealing attack times 270% to the middle, like whichever column is in line with him, it'll deal 270, and then the directly adjacent one, it will deal 180. So if he's in the middle, he'll do 270 to the middle and then 180 to both sides. If he's on the side, he'll do 270 to that side and 180 to the middle. And that's how it pretty much works. Really nice AoE. Combine that with a special like all enemies, not too bad. But this is the thing that I love about him. Partner of Justice arrives on bad situation. Before Luna arrives, if total deaths of partners and summons on both parties reach 6, Luna's energy will become 1. Now, I think this does reduce with lens ups, but I'm not 100% sure. And that's what I've seen, so I think it is. And I think it reduces to 3. And that's allies or enemies, which is, and that includes partners and summoned. So as long as you're not trying to drop this guy first, you're going to get him really cheap. And a 1 cost unit is absolutely huge in my mind. Even though doesn't really have, like, you can put gear on him to reduce energy on the enemies and stuff like that to give him some support, but pretty much he's just AoE damage, that's it, but a really low cost. And at a 1 cost, by the time you deploy him, like, there's no situation in, I think this is like a bad unit to drop. The other thing is it is an attacker, which is really, really nice. Sounds like it could have been a sorcerer or something like that, but it is a nice attacker. So, you know, really supporting that Kasumi type thing of doing columns. And I feel like, you know, you've got that Hotaru who not many people use, but is a 10 cost, do have the stun tied into it. Some good column damage. You could even throw her in as a suicide first damage on the column and then chuck this guy in for, or maybe put Kasumi in next, let something else die. Kasumi will kill something and then you've killed 3 and then you just drop this guy and you're just murdering that column, and hopefully the leader with that in that same time. So I think this guy's definitely worth it. Like if you can't get to the max, either purchase levels or purchase the thing, in my opinion, because you can get him free to play. It just takes you all the way to, I think it's like 120 when I looked. Was it 100 or 120? I think 120 is the last 15 pieces. Was it 140? 130? 130. So at 130 you will get him as free to play. But if you can't get to 130, you can purchase levels using diamonds. Or you can purchase the pack just to get a copy of him and then you'll have some shards. But for me, like I said, on my new account, I'm going to have, I think, 2 days worth of the battle pass. So I'm just going to buy it and get a copy of him and slowly work on him because he's pretty cool. But that is it for the new banners and the new units. Like I said, priority is definitely this one for me. If I get her on 2, I'll go over and do 2 on this one. And then, you know, on my other account, I am still, because it's fresh, I've still got Angela banner coming up. I've still got Kasumi banner coming up. So there's a bit of good stuff. But this one in general, if you don't have Angela or Hersey, if you've been playing a long time and you don't have Angela or Hersey and you've been saving, I feel like this is like the go-to banner. I feel like if you've been saving your red tickets for, you know, the next big banner, I feel like this is going to be the one, with Angela and Hersey, but specifically Angela and Seeger both being in the one banner. Good one to go deep on, at least a 7 anyway. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day and I'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.